All right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention.
We met a guy in the south of France, in Marseille, at the Hotel La Roule, who, at the time, and this was in
looked like Paul Newman.
1991, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he looked exactly like Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah, tan face, blue eyes, good-looking guy. This was in 1991 or 90 or 91, somewhere in that.
Cut finger.
Cut finger Joe Bianchi. Yeah. He had allegedly, from what we were told, pulled off the single biggest bank robbery in history when he robbed the British Bank of the Middle East in Beirut, and the biggest kidnapping in history where he'd kidnapped the son of Baron Le Pen. And his nickname, Cut Finger Joe, was because he had cut the son of Baron Le Pen's finger off and sent it to him in the mail, right?
Remember his advice?
So we're sitting at the Hotel La Roule, which is the number 2 rated bouillabaisse restaurant by the Marseille Bouillabaisse Society.
He knows all this.
Feeding him bouillabaisse. And Joe, we had another guy, the guy that had introduced us into the union course, his name was Francois, but everybody in Marseille called him Carlos.
Whose female relatives used him as a sex toy when he was a boy.
Yeah.
Strange man.
And
he is a Mason.
We found Francois through the Masonic Lodge.
Really?
And he was about 6'4", 230 maybe.
Kabili. Curly hair.
He had really serious calluses on all of his knuckles, right? So I said, Francois, are you a martial artist? And he goes, no, not really. I said, well, I was just looking at all the calluses. He says, well, I was in a parking garage, and I hit this guy with everything I had, and he didn't go down. I said, oh, my God, what is wrong with me? He didn't go down. So from then on, I've spent at least 1 hour every day punching wood.
Wow. Rope wrapped around.
Okay. But Francois introduced us to Joe. But Francois had a solid gold Cartier tank watch.
Yeah.
And Joe kept
we're
eyeballing.
sitting at the table talking with Joe, and he keeps looking over and admiring Francois' watch. And every time he did, Francois' finger would start twitching uncontrollably. But anyway, he says to us, well, one thing I must tell you, if you are going to be a successful kidnapper, because he didn't really quite understand what we were doing. We were trying to get back
trying to rescue
two kids that had been
kidnapped.
kidnapped. We're not kidnapped. We're trying to rescue 2 kids that have already been kidnapped, but it didn't quite translate anyway. So he said, well, if you are going to be a successful kidnapper, let me tell you this. If you cut the finger off of your victim, send it Federal Express.
Do not use the mail.
Don't use the regular mail because it takes so long. It gets all rotten and disgusting. That's valuable information, Joe.
Write
We're
it down.
happy to know that. But we don't think you quite understand where we're coming from, but we really loved meeting you, and hey, the lunch is on us.
He's a great guy. I love him. So, but see, you always run into people like that. That was I guess the theme of our lives was that we'd fall into a benjo pit, and we'd come out the other side poorer, sometimes richer, but always enriched by the people that we met.
Right.
It's like tonight. I mean, who knows? I mean, we've driven through a fucking cow pasture to get here. Who knows what we're going to do?
Who knows? He made me the bull.
I'm telling you, who he reminds me of is Carl.
Yeah, kind of.
Carl
but I was
Temez.
thinking Davidson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl Temez, who spent most of his adult life in prison. He was the only white guy, well, Mexican, on a chain gang in Georgia, all black.
Yeah.
And Carl was a piece of work.
Oh, yeah.
Carl was the only guy I know that could walk into it. We broke down on the freeway in Watts and pulled off the freeway, and the first place we ran into was an all-black biker bar. And I pulled up, went inside, and there's a payphone there. He goes, get on the payphone, call my brother, tell him his car's broken. And he goes inside. I go back, I call his brother, say, come pick us up. I walk inside, and Carl's sitting at the bar, and everybody else is over in the corner, huddled, cowered in the corner and that. And Carl's going, jeez, who let all these in here? and the bartender's going, I don't want no trouble. I know you're carrying. I know you got to be armed to be in here like that. Carl was a piece of work. Dude, look, you're built like him, too.
Yeah.
Well,
He was
it's
built
like
just
it's kind of
like
comical
you.
that you
like a Roman legionnaire.
You talk about Don being involved in like a convict type of looking. He actually played in a movie as a prisoner,
That's right.
a convict
I don't know.
with alongside
Rob Schneider.
yeah Rob Schneider. What was the name of the movie?
Big Stan.
Big
yeah.
Stan.
Big Stan. It was
Yeah,
fun.
he actually was in that.
It was a fun movie, man. Met some good people in that movie.
Comedian.
Well, I was actually a technical advisor on the TV show China Beach.
Really?
Stop with me.
Or something like that. I mean,
Jesus.
I was there.
He was trying to date Dana.
I was
whatever her
trying to
name
date
was.
Dana.
I wanted to too. Then
I was
dress up my dress greens to drive him up there in a limo that he had gotten, and he put in Colonel's emblem on the bumper.
I
and
see.
that.
He's moving up his rank here real quickly.
I was working in a gun store in in Lake Forest, California,
Taking a bath, in
and
a
I
mud
was
pile.
bored out of my mind. So I thought nothing was happening because we went through long periods of time of nothing before something would pop up.
Right.
Thinking about working for the post office.
I mean, that little skinny book covers 40 years. So anyway, I said, I got to think, what do I want to do? I got to do something challenging. I got to give myself a challenge and see if I can do it. And I'd been watching this TV show, China Beach, and I thought Dana Delany was like super hot.
Yeah,
and
I
I
did too. Yeah.
okay, she's somewhere here in the Los Angeles area. I'm here in the Los Angeles area. There's got to be some kind of way to meet this chick and get to know her. I just have to figure out exactly what the pathway is. So I started plotting and scheming, right? And I wind up at freaking Warner Brothers. I met I started by meeting two interns that were working on the show trying to be writers and convincing them that I knew all kinds of stuff, and I had all kinds of friends who were
Don't
like
trust
experts on Vietnam and shit, and I'll bring them in here. And they wound up calling me back and saying they needed some real Vietnamese gold for one of the series. And if I could bring some real Vietnamese gold, I could come up to the ranch up north of LA where they were filming. And, they welcomed me with open arms. So I'm like, and where did I borrow the Vietnamese gold?
Only I wouldn't give him it, so he took me along.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I had at that time.
Well,
I
you
had
wanted to see
I had
Dana
a
Delany, too.
5-ounce chain of
He had a
gold.
5-ounce bot chain with a MacV SOG emblem hanging from it. Right?
And
So
a-
then-
and an emblem that said "fuck peace."
there is actually a episode of China Beach where the guy Dodger, Jeff Kober, is supposedly looking for gold. And he comes back and he meets with Dana Delany and he opens his hand and Nick's bot chain falls out. Right? So I got it that far, right? And then I did this whole thing where I was a government somebody important.
Yeah.
With a limousine with flags on the fenders and a driver in full mufti. And
I went along. The caterer on
started
that
going to-
job was awesome.
The interesting thing is, one of those two interns that I originally met is now one of the most powerful producers in Hollywood.
Cool.
Her name's Tony Grafia. And you ever see that show Outlander?
Yeah.
About the chick that goes through the stones to ancient Scotland? That's her show.
Oh,
She wrote it, she produced it, she owned it. So she's like a big deal now. And she was one of the two interns. In fact, I helped her write her second published teleplay that was an episode of China Beach.
It'll be interesting. Be interesting to see if she remembers you now.
Oh, probably not. She'd remember me, whether she'd admit it or not. That's the question.
Before you run there, I want to talk about where can they find this book? I mean, because we're talking about a book with all the
ordered
different
online.
stories.
The book is on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's on pretty much every bookseller there is. It's easy to find.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure before, because I do that.
Yeah. And as far as the whiskey, you can go to Toxic Masculinity Whiskey.
Over 50 plumbing system.
And
Trust me.
you can order it.
It waits for nobody.
We can legally ship to 31 states. There's a liquor.
Yeah, we were making fun of you.
I know you were.
Hey, cool. Yeah, Thai Gold.
A liquor retailer in San Diego, California, called Country Wine and Spirits.
It's about
that could actually ship to more
probably
states than we
is
can.
that a 3-bot?
So you
I
can
don't
buy
know.
it off our
My
website, or
buddy-
you can go to their website. It's available.
Old boy
in a lot
named
of
Larry
places.
Taylor. He was
yeah.
in Vietnam, and then he became
This is Thai Gold. You
Yeah.
know, Thai Gold, that's about
22
three.
carats.
That's 3 ounce.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
it
a
could be
he was a
3
soldier in Nam. Then the CIA recruited him. He went to work for CIA.
I know a criminal, oddly enough, on the East Coast that collects. He's got a $3 million knife collection, and you got to love. He's in the book. Chet has bought just about everybody's gold over the years. He's got about half of mine that I
That's a
came
nice
back
buy.
with, and everybody
I
else.
could have used that when I was ingratiating myself.
Well, you know why
with
guys
China
want
Beach.
this? Skate
what?
money. Skate money. I've carried gold all my life for just that purpose. You get in some third world country,
Yeah.
you know, gold, everybody knows it. You
Right,
can get a camel, you can get a woman, you can get an AK-47, you can get a flight out of the country.
Right.
You got gold. You know, don't depend on the State Department because they won't give you anything.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I gotta get this thing fixed.
There's a
fixed.
Hang on to that, brother. That's,
There's
a
that's
couple-
history there.
I gotta get it fixed.
You know
It's
the
coming back
the
from-
Buddha goes in your mouth
Yeah.
when shit
Yeah.
got it around your neck when the shit hits the fan. Oh, sorry, I should not use that.
That
when the
might-
feces hits the Westinghouse.
Yeah. That
put it
might
in
be
your mouth.
Cambodian gold, actually. It could be Thai, but it could also be Cambodian. Because
might
the
be Cambodian,
Cambos
yeah.
used to put the Buddha in their mouth to protect themselves from bullets.
Yeah.
I used to put the Buddha in my mouth to protect the gold from my friend.
Yeah, I was coming back from California one time, from LA, and had a heart attack driving down the road. I must have grabbed, I lost the real Buddha, the Buddha that he had in Nam. I lost that. So this is a replacement Buddha. But yeah, I got to get this thing fixed.
Well, you know, the Buddhas, I work with Montagnards, the hill tribes. And,
Yeah.
and they didn't use a lot. Well, they were Buddhist kind of, but they were more animists. You know, they had spirits in the stream, and the tree had a spirit. There was the monkey spirit, and there was, spirits. They were animists. And they wouldn't use the Buddha so much as the Cambos and the Vietnamese would. Because the Vietnamese and the Cambos would carry a little ivory Buddha
Yeah.
in a gold cage, and start somebody fire a shot, everybody start popping them in their mouth. Going, oh, okay. You know who to search when they're dead.
That's right.
I love his voice. I love his voice.
You two are
We could have been pals.
disconcertingly similar. I'm having a hard time dealing with how similar you two are. On the other hand, down at this end of the table, we have the sophisticated,
That's right.
more mature group.
I don't know how sophisticated, but
More
yeah.
mature. That was a questionable too.
Well, we've
Well,
we've all had our moments. We've all had our moments.
I knew an Apache, full-blooded Chiricahua, that married one of America's most preeminent anthropologists, anthropologists, and that could recite the Song of Roland in the archaic French, and was the most nasty, evil killing machine you ever met in your life. So, you know,
The
book,
Apache or the woman?
the Apache.
Yeah, okay.
Edie was
The woman
Edie
was worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I knew where
Don was going with this. I knew where Don was going with on this one.
So wait, you were at the University of Arizona, or?
Arizona
Oh,
State.
hey.
Tip.
Hey. Cut him off.
Wait, what is that? U of A?
Hey, my
They like the
sister
Aggies or what?
matriculated from the University of Arizona.
Oh, geez.
Well, I just mean it's kind of like the interstate rivalry. You've always been
Where's
University of
Arizona
Arizona,
State at?
Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe.
Yeah,
And where's U of A?
Right at Tucson.
Tucson.
Well, that's where we met all those really blonde chicks with the big tits,
Yes.
and they were
There
all
are-
Republicans.
There is
We went to a Trump rally,
Yeah.
and there was all these really good-looking young co-eds, blonde. They all looked alike. They were like Barbie dolls, one after the other, and they were all medical students. And what was the other?
business.
Business.
Yeah.
And they all staunch conservatives, all that. You know, some of them were wearing Trump capes.
There were
at the time.
guys too, but he didn't notice that.
No. Well, yeah, Trump, I'll tell you what, Trump can pull the good-looking
I'm
women.
here for the
know?
kids, you know. Here for the kids. Trying to stay with that program.
I actually met Donald Trump.
Did you?
Yeah. I was in New York with a guy that's in the book by the name of Cosmo. That's not his real name.
Kramer?
No. This we called him Cosmo because he's such a little prick.
But anyway, we were in New York, and I don't remember where we were staying, but we said Trump had just bought one of the big hotels. I don't even remember which one, but he just purchased one, and it was in the news that Trump had bought it. So he said, let's go over there and check it out. So we went over and we went to the bar. It was late at night. There was only about 8 people in the bar. I think we were the only maybe 2 out of 3 people sitting at the bar, and then there was a couple of people at booths, you know. And we're sitting there having a scotch, and in walks Donald Trump. And he walks over to where we are, and he's like, are you guys guests at the hotel? And we said, no, we just came over to take a look at the place. And he said, well, what do you think? And we said, well, we think it's a really nice place. Maybe the next time we come to New York, we'll be guests here.
So wait.
He didn't
And,
have no entourage. He's just by himself.
Just by himself. It was about 11 o'clock at night.
When was this, though?
God, it was a long time ago. It was
Yeah.
it definitely wasn't in this century.
No.
It was sometime in the 1990s. I the Trump Palace or something like that.
Right.
But he was
Trump Castle?
he was a very personable guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was a really nice
He
guy.
grew up in the
I think he's
construction
And when he
industry.
started running for president, and everybody was like, oh, he's a freaking monster. I said, well, I met him, and I thought he was a very personal guy. Oh, my God, what's wrong with you? Asking from my California friends.
Yeah, right.
But I thought he was a very personable
These
guy.
are the fuckers that only read the headlines.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.